这85名来自英国的年轻人都是刚毕业的大学生，经过考试和筛选，获得来中国教学的资格。他们将在上海集中培训3个星期，然后分赴全国12个城市，担任中学英语教师。
My name is Ben. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Manchester, which is in the north of England. I've just graduated from university, from Cambridge University in the southeast of England. And at university I studied Chinese, Latin and ancient Greek. This is my first time in China and it's my first formal job. So I'm very excited to be here. Before I came to Shanghai, I didn't know what to expect. But I had lots of Shanghai friends and they all told me it was a very exciting place. And I remember as I was flying over the city, it was so huge and there were so many towers everywhere, so many skyscrapers all around the city. It looked very exciting. The first thing that struck me is how hot it is in Shanghai. It's really unbearable. It's so warm. I've never been so warm in my entire life.
这些英国青年都是第一次来中国，第一次当老师，同时这也是他们的第一份职业。按计划，他们将在中国工作1年。
year that the teachers will be coming here for, in many ways will change their lives. This is the experience that we have. They will find that they will make, of course, many new friends. They will learn a new language. They will learn about a new culture. They will help many young people to develop their English skills. And we hope also that they will make a positive change, positive impact in the schools where they will be working.
Everyone I speak to has very good things to say about Wu'ai School. How many students are there in each year?
There are about 500 students in our school.
Really?
Yeah, altogether
wow,
500.
so many.
我第一次见到Benjamin Bright，印象非常好。他见到我之后，第一个问题就是询问关于我们学校的情况，关于我们的学分情况，以及英语的进度。我给他也做了那个详细的介绍。我相信在今后的工作中，我们会合作得非常的愉快。谢谢。
培训课程安排在上海大学悉尼工商学院进行，学校将组织英国教师教学实习和讲评。
The one with the pink cover. Do you all have it? Please could you turn to page 30. We're going to do a reading exercise today. Okay. First of all, I have some new words for you all. Actually, if you could... Who can tell me what a helping of food is, in English or in Chinese? Jack, do you know? Does anybody know? Raise your hand if you know. A helping of food. No? It means 一份. Okay? 一份菜. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah? B. 1B. Greedy. Does anybody know greedy? Please raise your hand if you know. Greedy? No? Please raise your hand if you know. Greedy? No? Okay. Can anybody tell me now? Colleague. Yes, very good. 同事. Okay.
I think it went really well. The kids are great, but I wasn't so good today because I was quite nervous. And I have a tendency to start speaking Chinese, sorry. I think they're quite shy. I wasn't very confident about getting the job because I've never taught before. I enjoyed it lots. I feel sorry for the kids because they have to come to school in their summer holidays, so I gave them all a little chocolate bar at the end.
In the first one, maybe it looks like she's not very happy, but she's trying. She's trying to pretend to be happy. Can you think of any times when you pretend to be happy but you're not? Has anyone ever done that before? There are just these 4 boys and they sit together and they just don't want to do the work. So it's quite difficult for me because obviously I haven't taught before and I don't want to be one of those teachers who sort of shouts at people and says, you know, get out of my classroom. I don't really want to do that.
Give them a sweet just when they say something.
不管怎样 Naomi 还是把2堂课坚持下来了。有的老师上完第1堂课，第2堂课教室里就空无一人了。
Where do you start in resolving this sort of problem?
You talk to the student one-to-one.
Did you do that?
I asked him to stop it, but he was sat right at the back. We were in one of the little classrooms and he was wedged in at the back in a corner, surrounded by his crony.
The fact that he's sitting in the back of the room really diminishes the amount of control you have. If they're up the front and they're talking, then you can just sort of quietly drift over and be talking from here, and the person knows that you're right behind them and they'll sit up straight and stop doing what they were doing without you having to disrupt the class. Right? Possibly. But if they're at the back, then you don't have that control.
I mean, like one-on-one I could have spoken to her outside of the class, but
Was
I don't really want to address it then.
Because she was physically ill?
I just sort of went over to her and said, is everything okay, you know, how are you doing the exercise? And I could just sort of, you know, hear some noises coming up.
Certainly that's one.
What happens if you move into a separate class before the
As a learning activity, I'd much rather
看来
see you have
第一次面对中国学生，这些英国老师多少都有一些挫折感。
First arrived, it was a bit unusual because we sort of got taken straight away to the Jardine complex, and obviously there were 100 British people, so we were sort of, I don't know, isolated from the rest of Shanghai society for a while. 2 days after having been sort of through the training, because the training kept us quite occupied for a couple of days, so we didn't have much time to see much of Shanghai.